Yo guys, what is up? It is your average clasher here, and today I wanted to make a quick video talking to you guys about my top 5 favorite troops in Clash Royale. So I'm sure we all have our 5 favorites, and as a matter of fact, I would like for you guys to leave it in the comment section right below that like button what your top 3 or your favorite one or your top 5 favorite troops are, and let's see if we have any of them in common. So I'm gonna get right into things, starting with number 5. These are ranked, with number 1 being my most favorite one in the entire game. So number 5, we have and this deck that you guys are seeing right here, if you guys haven't seen my secret deck video, go ahead and watch that. An annotation will pop up right now in the top right side of this video if you guys want to watch that. This deck is the deck that got me to Legendary Arena, and I didn't know it at first, but this deck actually contains most of my favorite cards, and it's no surprise. It's just like, that just goes to show, that they really are my favorite cards. So starting in the number 5 spot, we have actually a 5 elixir cost card, which is the Minion Horde. I believe it spawns 6 minions, and this card, honestly, it's one of my favorite cards for this reason alone, which is the amount of damage it does the second you place this card down. So say, I know it's very easily countered with like a zap or princess or arrows or fireball, but the second you put this card down, what you're wanting it to do is more often than not kill a very tanky troop. So like a golem, a big P.E.K.K.A. or a full P.E.K.K.A. Or a giant or royal giant. And as soon as I place this card down, it's the reason why it's my first level 11 common, my only level 11 common, is because it just does so much work when you put it down. It absolutely kills anything in its path, whether it's the tankiest troop of them all or a semi-tank. And so I absolutely love this card because it always does what I want it to do before they send their arrows flying. So definitely my number 5 spot, a 5 elixir cost card, the Minion Horde. I never see it. I only see people using the regular 3 minions, which is this card right here. But as you can see, I haven't used the regular minions probably ever. I don't think I've ever used them in any single deck ever. But the Minion Horde is just my 5th favorite card in the entire game. So leading into number 4, my 4th favorite card is the Ice Wizard, which yes, I do have. And not only do I have the Ice Wizard, but I have it at level 2. I have a lot of legendaries now. I'm really happy about that. I bought the second one. I unlocked the first one obviously from a chest, and then I bought the second one for 40k gold. This same thing. I unlocked the first one from a chest, and then my second one was 40k gold. So I need 5k gold to upgrade this, but my Ice Wizard is level 2. It is my 4th favorite card in the game, and I've never used it yet, believe it or not. It's just, I love the animation, I love how it looks, and I think it's just such a cool card. This card is just so awesome, no pun intended. And the reason why I love it is because when you see people use it, it could be such a great defense card or such a great offense card. And it's one of those cards that could actually convert from a great defense into a great offense. So I really love it. I love that it does splash damage. I love that it could attack ground and air. I love that it's only 3 elixir. I love that it has pretty good HP for the elixir cost. And I love that it could slow mobs down when it's attacking them. It's just such a great card, and I love it so much. I can't wait to incorporate it into a deck and play around with it, because it's, like I said, my 4th favorite card in the game. So moving on, my 3rd favorite card is actually the Valkyrie, a rare card available from really early on in the game. And the reason why I love this card is because A, it's super tanky, B, it's 4 elixir, which some might say is a little expensive, but I think it's great value when it comes to the Valkyrie. And 3, it does some insane splash damage. Like, this one Valkyrie could take out a whole pack of barbs that's like 2 levels or 3 levels higher than it. So I absolutely love that about it. It could even, with a zap, it could take out barbs that are like 4 levels higher than it. So it's crazy, the use of this card. I also use it in conjunction with Ice Spirit to take out 3 muskies, and the use for this card is just so great. I also use it as an off tank to use my Hog Rider to push right behind. Again, if you guys watch my secret deck video, you'd probably see that in there. And the Valkyrie is just such a great value card. I love it so much. It's been in like pretty much all of my decks because it's such a great card in my opinion, and it always does so well for me. Even on defense, it's not like it does bad damage. It does good damage, and it could just really turn a lot of situations. I use it for all my ground splash, so like if a Skarmy is coming in, or gobs or spare gobs, whatever the case is, Valkyrie is the most perfect counter in the world. So I love Valkyrie for that reason, and that's why it takes my number 3 spot. Number 2 spot, I gotta give it to, this one was tough, the top 2 is really tough, but I gotta give it to I'm gonna give it to Fire Spirits. I have to give it to Fire Spirits. My number 2, my second favorite card in the entire game of Clash Royale is the Fire Spirits. The Fire Spirits are such a great card. One, they do insane damage. You know, sometimes I just use these with Zap to get them to the tower to do a quick like 700 damage in total. It's absolutely ridiculous how much damage these guys could do, because a lot of people sometimes just leave them because they underestimate this card so much. And I really want to get to level 11 because I use this card so much, and ever since they were released I've been using them in my decks. And this card, I love that it takes out air units. It's the perfect counter to a Minion Horde, to so many mob cards. It's also, you know, something if you don't have anything in your hand and they have a Hog Rider coming flush on your tower. It's only 2 elixir, super great cost, and this will almost take out the Hog Rider. Hog Rider will probably only get 2 swings off, so it's absolutely insane the use for this card, and it's just so great. It even stops a Prince charge if a Prince is charging at you, and I've seen, I don't know if it was a glitch or not, but it stopped the Prince's charge because the Prince attacked it, but right when the Fire Spirit jumped. So not only did the Prince charge stop, but it also still went and it jumped onto the Prince. So super great card. It's one of the best cards in the game if you ask me, for my opinion. Reason why it's in my top 2. Reason why it's my second favorite card in the entire game. It's such a great card for such a great cost, and it's a common. So, you know, really cheap to level up and really easy to get in high quantity. So that leaves us with 1 spot left available, which is the number 1 spot. My favorite card in all of Clash Royale is, believe it or not, number 1 elixir Skeletons. 3 fast, very weak melee fighters. Surround your enemies with this pile of bones. I love this card to death. This card is so useful for so many situations, whether it's diverting a Minion Horde all the way to the other side. If you know how to place them correctly, when a Minion Horde's coming in, you can place these down near the middle, but to like a 1 or 2 tiles to the other side, and the Minion Horde will just follow them for a wild goose chase. You could use it to you know, kill Sparky. If you place them all around Sparky, Sparky will only hit 1. You'll have to charge up to keep hitting the others. By that time, Sparky's dead. You have more than enough time to deal with it. Perfect counter to the mini P.E.K.K.A if it's coming in alone. Great counter to some goblins because, you know, the goblins have to stop and take these guys out. So it's great counter to goblins, spare goblins, regular minions. You could divert them as well. Hog Rider for hogs on your tower. You don't have much elixir. You need to put something down. These are great at helping taking it out. Great for just, you know, wailing away at a giant that's coming into your base while, you know, stuff's going on on the other side of the map. So these cards just have infinite usability, and so many situations I would have lost matches if it wasn't for this card, and for that reason alone it's my favorite card. Not only do I love it, you know, this card was super good. I loved it to death when there was 4 skeletons, and when it got nerfed I'm like, shoot, maybe I can't use it anymore, but boy was I wrong. 3 skeletons is almost as good, and it really still does put in the work. If you guys haven't ever tried out the skeletons, I highly suggest and recommend that you do, because this card has saved me so many matches. You know, because a lot of times people want to ignore them, so this card is really only ever for defense. You're never really going to put it on offense. The only time I ever do is if I don't have Zap or don't want to use Zap, and I put these in front of my Fire Spirits just to get my Fire Spirits to the tower. So these will tank 3 shots. My Fire Spirits could tank 2 shots each, so with these in front, it's more than enough time for my Fire Spirits to make it to the tower if my opponent chooses to ignore my Fire Spirits. So yeah, it's really good, and even if your opponent zaps the entire combo, it's only a +1 positive elixir trade for your opponent, so it's not the biggest deal in the world. So it's especially good if, you know, things aren't going too well and you know their hand and you know what cards they have if they have nothing for it, that it's really good to do that, to take out or finish a tower, just to get some final damage in, especially in overtime. So yeah, 1 elixir skeletons, the amount of usability for this card, I can make a whole video of 10 reasons why skeletons should be in every single deck, because that's how much I appreciate this card, that's how much I love it, and that's why it has to take the number 1 spot. So while the top 2 is a close call, I gotta give it to the skeletons. So just to reiterate, number 5 is the Minion Horde, number 4 is the Ice Wizard down here, right here, number 3 is Valkyrie, and then number 2 Fire Spirits, and number 1 is Skeletons. So that's my top 5 favorite troops in Clash Royale. Let me know what you guys' top 5 is in the comment section right below that like button, and hey, if you guys found this video to be above average, please let me know by sharing it and giving it a thumbs up, and I'll see you all in the next one. Stay calm and clash on, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.